Afternoon, everybody. My name is Tari Austin. This is my friend Jack. Been knowing each other for a few years now. So this is a formative interview to see what makes Louisiana great. So I'm just going to ask Jack a few questions, and hopefully he gives us some insight on what's so great about Louisiana. So first off, tell me a little bit about yourself and where you were raised at.
Well, my name's Isaac Jack from Lake Charles, Louisiana. I grew up actually in Elton, Louisiana, which 70% of the population was Casada Indians. So it was like that's a big, part of my family down there was part of the tribe that they had down there. They had a reservation right next to the little town. Then we ended up moving to Lake Charles, and that's where I spent most of my teenage years and middle school years in Lake Charles. So, great time, little country. It's a little funny, how people take you sometimes when you talk a little fast, but, it is what it is, I guess.
Okay. So what is your take on Louisiana's culture as far as the local community?
For me, it's always been a hospitable one. They always tell you about Southern hospitality and whatnot, things like that. I was like, I sum it up in the story. Like, I had a friend. We were both stationed together, and he ended up getting stationed 8 hours away from my home. When I told him I was coming home, he decided to come visit. And when he came out there and visit, I wasn't at my house at the time. I was visiting another friend. By the time he said, "Oh yeah, hey, I made it," I get back to my house. He's sitting there with a plate of food, eating in the house with my family like they known him for years. So, the culture is an embracing one, but also it can be an unforgiving one if you cross us the wrong way. But
Okay.
usually the Southern hospitality wins over most of the time.
All right. So, what are some of Louisiana's biggest attractions? Like, what's a must-see if you want to go to Louisiana and visit?
For me, and I can't speak for everybody on the different things. A must-see is just food. Like, in general. You can't even just be like, hey, let me go see this Ferris wheel. Let me go look at this water. Let me go look at this other thing. Nah, it's about the food. I was like, that's the first thing you ever hear somebody from Louisiana talk about is how much they miss the food. Because a lot of the food you can't get nowhere in the world. I remember when I lived out in California, some of the spices we used was on the international aisle, wasn't even on the regular aisle. So, when people say, "Oh, what's the biggest thing or what's the best thing one can go see in Louisiana?" I say, stop by one of the mom and pop restaurants. Not that big flashy stuff, because that flashy stuff is like just people trying to make some money. Stop by one of the mom and pops. They just want to feed you.
Okay.
And they want you to know it's good. So I say the food is the biggest attraction in Louisiana.
That's actually a great segue, because I was just about to ask. So, how is the food, and what is a must-eat in Louisiana? Like, what's the staple of Louisiana food?
Well, everybody's going to sit there first mind say gumbo, but you got a whole bunch of other dishes that a lot of people don't know about. They got gumbo, jambalaya. Yeah, you see the box mixes in the stove, but one that touches my heart that we had to eat is etouffee. A lot of people don't even know what that is. Etouffee is like a sauce dish that you have. It's made a little bit with a roux like a gumbo or whatnot, but it is delicious. And you can get it with seafood, chicken, sausage, how you want it. And it comes spicy or mild. So, and then it takes skill to make something like that. For a quick pickup food, I'd say, though, that you must have, that you will not get nowhere in the world, that is boudin.
Okay, what's that?
Boudin is a type of sausage that's developed with rice and pork. You can make it with seafood. I've seen it done with seafood, but the sausage, the boudin sausage is so delicious. That's the only way I can describe it. It's one of the things you just got to eat it for yourself. You can't just be like, oh, this is good. No, you got to try that for yourself. Like, I can't tell you how great it is. You know what I mean? So, etouffee and boudin, it'll treat you right when you swing through Louisiana. Don't just stick with the gumbo. Everybody know gumbo.
Okay. So, as far as the local people, like, so I'm from out of state, and most people will be from out of state. So what would be some do's and don'ts that you need to know when you're dealing with people from Louisiana?
Oh, always, and something, it go back to what my grandfather told me, is yes, sir,
Okay.
and yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. Being polite takes you a long way in Louisiana, because a lot of people forget, their manners, and like a lot of people don't talk like everybody else. But one thing that's always a constant about where I'm from is yes, sir, and no, sir. If you use that when you addressing a situation, like you hear me say that today, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something about age or any type of seniority. Like I'll still say yes sir, yes ma'am, no sir, no ma'am. This is because I'm just being polite to you, and that way I'm gonna address everyone as they should be addressed. And that is like one of the biggest things they look at when they start talking to you, because it's a hospitality thing. If it's like, oh, somebody been raised right, that's the first thing gonna come out some of their mouth is like, okay, I see where you at. Because if you come there all errand, you might be not taken so well. They might not take you so well, and it could be a very difficult time for you while you're down there.
Okay. So, what's some of the biggest sporting events that you got going on there?
Oh, the biggest things always and forever, you got them Saints and that LSU football, them Bayou Bengals. See, a lot of people didn't ride with the Saints for a while, but it was interestingly enough, when we talk football, LSU Tigers always first and foremost. They ain't not now another family, friend, cousin, whoever it is that's rooting for a football game in the state gonna sit there and tell you they root for somebody else besides LSU, because then they might then get ran up out of there if they talk about Alabama or something like that. Now with the Saints is a different story. Saints ain't never really been all that great. So you got like the western side of Louisiana, a lot of them is Cowboys fans.
Okay.
Because they wasn't willing to go through the storm with them Saints.
Okay.
They was like, I ain't wearing no bag, I just switch teams. But we ride with them Saints and them Bayou Bengals to the end. Football is, it ain't big of a religion like Texas is, but we love some football.
Okay, that's our time. In conclusion, I'm a Tari Austin again. It's my friend Isaac Jack. He gave us a little information on the state of Louisiana, what makes it so interesting, the food, the local culture. The biggest thing to get out of the thing is try the food. Can't wait to go to Louisiana myself. And thank you guys for watching.